Hello and welcome to episode 107 on the Online Trainers Podcast. Today's topic is focus on strategies and not tactics. Hello and welcome to the Online Trainers Podcast, where we go behind the scenes to uncover the latest tactics and strategies top trainers around the world are using to get more clients, dominate their marketplace, and get their clients amazing results. There is absolutely no fluff here. I'm your host, Lynn Trin. Now, I'm sure, like a lot of other personal trainers out there, you and I both are focused on tactics. And there's nothing wrong with focusing on tactics. I mean, I did that for the last 2 years and it got me pretty much burnt out. It got me burnt out, but in more so, I wasn't really deploying any strategies. And what I mean by this is I was simply running an ad. I was simply asking for somebody's contact details, and we're talking about marketing. If you have no idea what I'm talking about at this very moment in time, sorry. It's assumed knowledge that if you're at podcast 107 with me, it's assumed knowledge that you are completely up to date. You're an expert marketer, you're an expert salesperson, and you're running a multi-million-dollar business. No. What I'm talking about today is I'm talking about why most trainers will fail and why most trainers will burn out. And the truth is most trainers will fail, most trainers will burn out because you guys are focusing on tactical stuff. That is, you guys are focusing on the ads that will bring you the leads right now. And I know you're probably thinking or sitting there thinking, Lynn, what should I be focusing about? And I'm really here to help you focus on strategies as opposed to just tactics. Now, I talk about this a lot inside and especially with all the guys inside of my legacy program. If you're listening to this, you'll know this, right? There's 4 pillars of legacy. If you want to grow and you want to be the best of the best, and if you're listening to this podcast, there's no doubt you're not listening because you want an extra few clients. You actually want to build a full-time online personal training business that you can completely dominate and wipe your competitors out. You want to be the best known. You want to be so that you can charge the highest prices and you can get the most amount of clients. In order to do that, you need to be the best. Now, if you're going out there to be the best, you need to understand at every stage of business, there's a different life cycle. And what I mean by this is when you're first starting out business, you can't be writing emails. You can't be writing blogs. You can't be doing Facebook posts. You need to understand that as the solo entrepreneur, that is the solo person working on your business, you have to be very strategic and very smart about using your time wisely, about where your time goes, but more importantly, what actions you're taking to move your business forward. Because when you're starting out in a very, very new business environment, the first thing all that matters is your ability to generate cash flow, because cash, revenue, is going to allow you and give you options. And that's all money does inside of business. When I think about business and building it, I think about, okay, if I had cash flow inside of my business, what could I do to get my clients and get them better results? What could I do to save my time now? Because if I can save my time, I can spend my time on strategic stuff such as positioning, authority, networking, joint ventures, right? Such as setting up sales funnels, webinars, all that cool automated stuff. But if your objective to start your online personal training business, fitness business, is to go out there and start marketing and writing blogs and doing cold calls, you aren't going to grow very, very quickly because you're going to burn yourself out. Because unfortunately, you're not going to get any traction and you're going to be on almost kind of the desperate side of things. And when you're in a desperate position, you're going to sign up crap clients who you weren't meant to sign up. But more importantly, you're going to get clients who are not your ideal fit and not your ideal client. So let me just reframe this. Let me really bring this back because I've got a lot going on inside of my mind, and I want to make sure that you don't get completely scatterbrained when I tell you about this concept. Now, I built the whole concept inside of the legacy program for all the trainers in there. And the first thing that we ever focus on is cash flow. Pillar number 1 is cash flow. How can you, if you are going to be and construct yourself as the best online coach, online trainer, have the best online fitness business in the world, right? Be the best. Start thinking about being the best and you will start operating differently. The first question you need to ask yourself is, how can I generate cash flow? That is all that matters. That is pillar number 1. Generating cash flow is this, simple as this. Do you have a way to generate leads? Do you have a way to generate sales? Convert those leads into customers? Do you have a way to generate or fulfill for those clients and customers which don't actually take up any more of your time? And so if you think about this as a solo person, if you're running your business by yourself, you have to think about this. You then take on the full-time role of a marketing agency. You then take on the full-time role of a salesperson. You then take on the full-time role of an online coach. You're taking on 3 roles. You're putting on 3 hats. And you're jumping in between. Now, what I need you to understand is if you keep these 3 hats on for a long time, you will get burnt out. But unfortunately, your business cannot run without you understanding these 3 hats. Right? So the first thing I ever look at inside a legacy is, okay, great, cool, we've got these 3 hats on. How can we make money so that you can take one of those hats off and give it to somebody else? Okay? And ways to make money, ways to generate leads, run challenges, right? Add value, build asset lists, launch a podcast. These are ways to generate leads. How do you make sales? Well, we've talked about why people buy. And inside of Legacy, I teach the Legacy trainers, I teach them the 4 pillars of selling. The 4 pillars and the ultimate selling formula, which is number 1, you have to have certainty in what you sell. Most trainers aren't going to be good at selling because they do not believe in what they sell. That is, they know that they've sold their online coaching programs before and they haven't gotten results. Therefore, they develop doubt. Number 1, complete certainty. Number 2, listen. Active listening. A lot of the times, most trainers on coaches on coaching calls and sales calls, I've listened to this time and time again, will spend 90% talking, whereas it should be the other way around. And I'm going to tell you why. When you allow somebody to talk, right? When you allow somebody to talk, you get them to sweep their problems out from under the carpet and reveal them to you, and you get them into an emotional buying state, meaning they realize that the situation they're in is quite bad and that they need to change. It's called a change state. The 3rd step, sell them on a vision. Simply this, right? You simply need to paint the vision of what their life will be as a result of taking action inside of your program. So if they plug in, and I like to use the word plug because I love systems and I love thinking about, okay, if I go to Macca's and I want to order a Big Mac, then I get a Big Mac, right? Now, if a guy's in complete pain, emotional pain, and he needs to change, if he plugs into your system, what is he going to get? Like, who is he going to come out of? What Big Mac is he going to get as soon as he plugs into your system? And you need to make him see that. Sell him the vision of what he desires. And ultimately, at the end of the day, enroll, fulfill, right? Enroll is ask for the sale. That's the 4 steps of selling. Number 1, get leads. Figure out a way to get leads. Number 2, get them onto the phone. Sell them. The fastest way for you to build and grow traction at the moment is, right, talking over the phone. And the last thing is this. I know I talk about a flagship program. I'm not talking about it because I think it's fluff. I'm talking about building out your own online 12-week course, right? That educates them, that tells them what to do, but tells them why they need to do it so that you can sign up 100 new clients tomorrow if, by any chance, you got 100 new clients tomorrow. Unfortunately, most trainers don't have this system, and when they sign up new clients, they're enrolling clients and they're writing on spreadsheets or they're writing inside of softwares in order to fulfill. Now, this basically allows you to take off one of the hats. Allows you almost to leverage yourself and semi-leverage yourself to take off your coaching hat, so you're not doing so much one-to-one interactional work. You're letting your flagship program do the majority of the work for you, and you're just adding additional support. This is pillar 1 of legacy. This is what I talk about in pillar 1. Because the most important thing, if you want your business to survive in 2017, the most important thing is cash flow. If you have no cash flow, forget about it. Your business is like a car and it runs. Its fuel is on cash, right? A car's not going to run without any petrol, and your business isn't going to run without any cash, and you're going to burn yourself out. Now, once you understand this, and you're generating some cash flow, then you start to look at pillar number 2 inside of legacy, automation. How can I bring on more people to allow me to take off my marketing hat or my sales hat? The first thing I'd recommend is get yourself a salesperson so that you're not doing the sales calls anymore. You're positioned as the expert authority, and create systems around that. Hire out a virtual assistant, hire a coach, okay? To grow your business, we look at automation processes. We look at setting up sales funnels, right? so that now you can turn a cold prospect into a warm buyer through a correct automated sales funnel. But this doesn't happen at the start. This happens at a specific pathway along the line of progression. Okay, unless you get here, then you focus on that next bit. Too many trainers I see focus on the wrong area. And of course, the third thing is the pillar number 3 is all about expansion. Pillar number 3 is all about expansion. It's all about going, okay, I've got a flagship program. That's cool. But what happens to these people that finish? Can I launch a membership site? Can I launch a retreat? Can I launch a one-day seminar, one-day workshop? I can tell you this from personal experience that if you think online personal training is just all about delivering programs online, you're highly mistaken, because that's not going to fulfill you. What's going to fulfill you is the connection. Okay, what's going to fulfill you is getting those clients results, seeing those clients, having them say to you in person, oh my God, you changed my life. That is what's going to fulfill you. And the last piece of the puzzle is authority building. You have to cement yourself as the go-to expert position inside of your niche. Now, you can do this by setting up your own certification programs. You can do this by launching podcasts, YouTube channels. You can do this by leveraging other people's expertise, right? And in turn, interviewing other people so you're seen as the expert. You can do this by writing a book. Many ways to build authority. And that's how you're going to build legacy. That's how you grow your business. That's how whenever a lot of people ask, Lynn, what do you do inside of your coaching program? I help them go through this step-by-step process. So number 1, generate cash flow. Number 2, free up more time. Okay, once you've made money, it's time to free up more time. Now, unfortunately, 98% of trainers can't even get the first bit right. So the second, third, fourth starts to look a little bit shabby, right? It starts to look, oh, well, I'll never get there. And the third bit is like, how can we expand on that? And the fourth bit of legacy is position, authority, pick a niche, be the best at that, and dominate. And so why I say that is because I know a lot of the times there are a lot of experts and a lot of gurus out there that will tell you, right, to do one thing, to email, to blog, to be everywhere. And what I'm telling you at this moment in time is you have to understand you only have, number 1, so many hours in the day. Number 2, there's only one of you. You need to protect you. And you're the biggest asset. If you can't protect you, then forget about it. You're not going to build this business. You're not going to be able to grow your business to where you want it because you, as the biggest asset, you're burnt out. And so with that being said, in February, we are launching and we're opening intakes for our new legacy program. We're taking on 10 guys. So if you are interested, 10 guys and girls, if you're interested in this process, if you want to find out more, then please let me know. Send me a message. Let me know what you've done in the past, who you've worked with, what have you done, what are you looking to do, and let's have a conversation to see if I can help you grow in 2017. I'll see you tomorrow on the next podcast episode. Have a great day.
Alright, if you enjoyed this podcast, please leave me a 5-star review on iTunes and feel free to leave a review, and that way I can respond and I can take that on board in developing content to serve you. Now, if you're not a part of the Online Trainers Club on Facebook, please do yourself a favor and be a part of the conversation. That's where I add daily tips, tricks and strategies on how you can build out funnels, how you can get more clients and ultimately become a better online coach. Thank you for listening.